Just a quick recap, I'm creating a huge 15-character fan art of YouTuber Popcross Studios' original characters in his story's multiverse tales, featuring some of the most prominent ladies of that universe. Last week, we finished the villains with a dramatic flourish with one of our hero's main antagonists, Eloise Lidham. We started this whole project with the hero, and now we are going to end this project with our final character and hero, Astra. Like many of our heroes that I've talked about over the series, we get to follow Astra's story and character arc, with her following more of a redemption story. Astra is the daughter of Tarsa, which, guys, I cannot believe it, but until I was halfway through working on this series, did I realize Astra is literally an anagram for Tarsa, or vice versa, whichever came first. Okay, moving on. Tarsa raised Astra to become an overseer, and made Astra become the overseer of Dimension A016, basically using Astra as her retirement plan from that dimension. Astra, knowing how terrible a person her mother truly is, took a piece of the multiversal orb and gave it to a demon called Lucifer in that dimension, to basically spite Tarsa and ruin her mother's retirement. Of course, Lucifer used this orb to wreak havoc on Dimension A016, and Astra watched from the sidelines as a group called the Agency of Supernatural Protection, founded by Alexis Jones and Sterling Angeal, worked tirelessly to stop Lucifer's actions. Astra, watching the struggle of her dimension and the friendship between Alexis and Sterling, decided to disguise herself as Diamos, daughter of Lucifer, and work with the ASP and Sterling and Alexis to bring down Lucifer. Over 6 years, Astra, or in this case Diamos, grew in her friendship with Alexis and began to date Sterling. But the guilt that Astra had been feeling, not only because she started this whole scenario in the first place, but also because she wasn't being truthful to her friends, really was eating away at her. She decided to end everything by faking her death as Diamos, killing Lucifer, and bringing peace to the dimension, but she also didn't have to confront her friends about what she had done. Astra retreats from Dimension A016 and travels to other dimensions, creating havoc due to various mistakes and her continuous poor choices. Astra chucked another piece of the multiversal orb, which she thought didn't work anymore, into Heath Hurricane Reynolds' dimension, unknowingly bringing havoc to Heath's world. The piece of that multiversal orb began to send energy waves out that created or lured kaiju creatures to appear in Heath's world and wreaked incalculable damage to cities, homes, and lives. If Astra wasn't visiting different worlds, she would hang out in the Everyverse, basically like the creative mode of Minecraft, where overseers could practice and create various creatures and monsters there. Here, Astra fights another overseer, Eulidas, who is specifically obsessed with dragons, beasts, and the like. The two have a little competition, mainly to see if Astra could be unbanned from his world, since she interfered with it beforehand against Eulidas' attempts to destroying a city. And while Astra was victorious, Eulidas claims she broke the rules because Astra became a dragon herself to win the beast battle. But instead of fighting again, Eulidas tells Astra she can enter back into his world if she agrees to hunt down an annoyance of his, Biomech Kayla. You see, Eulidas was the overseer of Dimension T905, and he wanted to use our hero, Tayran Janavar, as his own personal puppet to destroy the people of his world. Eulidas hated humans, and he had messed with Tayran's world and life to make Tayran as miserable as possible, and to basically turn him into a killer. But because Michaela and Charlie had traveled to his universe and met Tayran, Tayran's life turned around for the better. So now, Eulidas wanted Kayla out of the way. Astra seemingly agrees to this plan when she attacks Kayla, Charlie, and Benny Sharp, who just returned from their own adventure. But after a quick scuffle, Astra offers up what Eulidas was planning to do with Tayran, but she explains that she had planned instead to betray Eulidas and steal his overseer powers for herself and become the new overseer of that world. Astra reveals that biomechs like Charlie are one of the only things that can take an overseer's abilities away, because their frequencies mess with the overseer's body so much that an overseer immediately passes out, and then they can have their power stripped from them. Kayla, who had a blossoming relationship with Tayran, finding out what Eulidas had done to Tayran's life, is more than happy to help Astra out. As Astra brings a subdued Kayla to Eulidas, Eulidas reveals that he has done some digging up on Astra's past and brought in Heath, Sterling, and Alexis to subdue Astra. Astra, in complete shock and shame, tries to, again, run away from her problems, but was overrun by one of Eulidas' monsters, as Eulidas transports the group throughout the various dimensions that Astra has brought ruin to, revealing to Astra her various mistakes, including accidentally filling Heath's world with kaiju, and of course, her selfish actions that brought a lot of heartache to Alexis' and Sterling's dimension. Kayla, not knowing any of this, was certain that she couldn't trust Astra anymore, but escaped from Eulidas thanks to Benny Sharp's intervention and ran to find Tayran. Tayron. Once Kayla found and explained everything to Tayron, including what Eulotus had done to Tayron's life, Tayron surprisingly responded with calm and determination. They both worked together to go back to stop Eulotus's plans and to at least save Benny Sharp from the situation. But Kayla also sensed that Alexis, Sterling, and Heath were good people, but that they were just trying to do what they thought was right. Kayla reached out to Alexis via a cool frequency channel that Charlie created, and Kayla told Alexis that while Astra may have done some bad things in her past, Eulotus wasn't innocent either, and he had terrible plans for Tayron's world. All of this culminated in a rescue mission where Alexis, Sterling, Heath, Kayla, Tayron, and Benny worked together to stop Eulotus and rescue Astra. But instead of giving Astra Eulotus's overseer powers, they would give those powers to Tayron, who seemed much more caring and responsible for his world. Astra also finally reveals to Sterling and Alexis that she was Diamos and why she had pretended to be Lucifer's daughter and faked her death, all so that she didn't want the two people she loved the most to hate her and all that she had done. And while Sterling was quick to forgive, Alexis told her she would need time. And with all of that resolved, the group promised to work together if ever one of them should need the others, and this was the new Multiverse Tales origin story. Now, as Astra has begun to heal and work with the group to undo all of the problems that she had caused in various dimensions, Astra still had work to do when it came to working on the team. One of those being, she pretended to betray the group to lure Eloise Ludum out of hiding and put her friends in her terrible tournaments, so that Astra could stop Eloise's schemes. But because Astra told no one of her plans, her friends were in grave danger, and only thanks to the help of Koshmara, they were able to escape, crush Eloise's console, and capture Harold the Herald. The whole debacle resulted in Alexis punching Astra and telling her that that wasn't how a team worked and that her actions could have resulted in the deaths of her friends. Astra had to fight the mounting jealousy of how quickly Koshmara was accepted and loved in the group, while she was trudging her way out of the messes she had made. Eventually, Alexis and Astra were able to make up, Alexis admitting to Astra that she felt like Astra made no effort to being her friend again, and Astra apologized, saying she hadn't made an effort in fear of rejection. So, after that, the two started to get back to the way things were. Astra now is a much more confident, still chaotic at times, and flirtatious teammate. Like I had mentioned before, she had dated Sterling in the past as Diamos, and she has flirted with Heath, Vasilia, both Heath and Vasilia while they were dating, and even Fantarel. Her other favorite thing to do besides flirting is messing with people, including Jake Tajan, who is easily riled up by Astra, which just fuels her even more to mess with him. Astra has come a long way in her teamwork, and her chaotic nature adds a fun dynamic to the group. And it will be satisfying to see her and the Sharp Gang take down Tarsa at some point. With her final character complete, it was now time to add a background, make the final arrangements of all the characters, and polish it off. If you want to see the final piece and not listen to my nerdy art talk, then you can skip to the end of the video, but I'll give you a quick rundown of what I was thinking to finish this piece. Like I said, I had villains on top and heroes on bottom. I also knew that with 15 characters, that with any odd number, you can make your symmetrical art piece. Like with 3 characters, you have 1 character in the middle and 1 on either side. With 5, it's 1 in the middle and 2 on either side, etc. With my list of characters and my rough layout, I knew I could have Tarsa in the middle with Fear and Ludum flanking her on either side, with 2 Archons also on the left and the right, and with the heroes, I could have Alexis and Astra in the middle with 3 more heroes on each side. See? Symmetry. For the background, I wanted to reflect on Popcross's original backgrounds that he had, with various shapes that look like comic panels or pentagonal-shaped pieces like the pieces of the multiverse. Maybe I was reading too much into that, but that's what I thought when looking at them. So, after I figured out which method and how to create the background, I was pleased with it. Then, and probably the most important part of this piece, was the lighting. To be honest, starting this whole project, I didn't use any references for the layout or look of the fan art. I just created using whatever I had envisioned in my head. But now, I wanted to look at multiple character movie posters to see how they treated the characters and how they achieved both a focal point and still highlighted each character. So I used Avengers Infinity War as my inspiration, where you still have a focal point, but each character is still emphasized with lighting. So I used a pink light for the background to bring in a central focal point up towards where Tarsa was. Plus, the multiversal orb she has emits a glow, which also will bring the eye in as well from the dark background. Finally, when I worked on Alexis and began to give her rim lighting, did it click for me that I was going to use specifically a pink light. So I both dulled and shadowed certain parts of each character, specifically where they were behind another character, just pushing that part of them further into the background. And then with every character having rim lighting, that pulls the face of that character forward, almost outlining them to show, hey, look at this character. Scale also helped bring in the focal point. Just like Thanos, Tarsa is the biggest character, and with the light pointing towards her, she should be the first thing your eye is brought to. And then with Eloise and Fear and the other characters slowly shrinking in size, it will naturally bring your eye to explore the rest of the piece. It is finally done. I hope you guys enjoyed the outcome as much as I did. I'm honestly pretty proud of it, and mainly just because I completed the dang thing. If this is the first video you saw of this series, I'll have the playlist linked above. But thank you for anyone who watched any of these videos, or if you watched this whole journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. I definitely have plans to do more Popcross fan art, including Starseed Psyche, and eventually I'll probably tackle the lads of the multiverse. But for now, I'll be taking a quick break from my fan art videos to do my annual board game review, and then I'll be back to posting a fan art for an anime that I've recently watched, so stay tuned. Thank you again so much for watching. If you are specifically a fan of Popcross, comment down below your favorite series of Popcrosses, or who your favorite lady is. Remember, you can look at all my finished renders on my Instagram at superblondenerd, and I'll see you nerds in the next one. Bye!